I'm Jill Starley-Grainger. I'm a travel journalist and I blog at jetsetjourneys.com. You might have seen me on TV where I talk about travel on various programs such as BBC, Sky News, and ITV. And I also write for newsstand media, newspapers, and magazines. In this video, I'm going to tell you 3 sneaky ways, but legit, unfortunately, that travel insurers get out of paying your claim. Number 1, you know when you get to those low-cost airline boarding queues and they suddenly come up and say, oh, there's not enough room on the plane, we've got to take your bag away. And they take your carry-on bag and they put it in the hold. Right, if they do that and you have anything of value in there and it gets nicked, it's not covered. The fact that they have taken it away, you haven't had time to lock it, take out your valuables, whatever, it doesn't matter. Your travel insurance policy, almost all of them will state that you need to have your valuables with you at all time. So before they take your bag away, make sure you take out your laptop, your jewelry, anything else you had. It doesn't matter if people have to wait. You could be losing thousands of pounds if somebody goes in and nicks it. And unfortunately, we do know that there is a fair bit of crime that happens, particularly with bags that aren't locked, because they're just easy pickings. So make sure when you get to the front of the queue, if they tell you that they've got to take your bag away, take everything out that's valuable. If you don't have anything to put it in, ask them for a carrier bag. So that's number 1. That's a way that they get out of paying up. Number 2, did you know that if you have ever in your life been diagnosed with any mental illness, no matter how mild, that could be a reason that they don't pay your claim? So when you're going through the travel insurance questions and they say to you, have you ever had any illnesses? Which of course is ridiculous because, I mean, everybody has had a billion illnesses. You can't possibly include them all. But if you have ever been diagnosed with depression, anxiety, any of a number of very mild, very common mental illnesses, if you don't declare it at the beginning, they can use that as an excuse later to not pay a claim. Now, I asked about this for the travel insurance people I was speaking with about this, and they said the reason is that if somebody has been diagnosed with it in the past, they've done modeling that shows that they might be more likely to cancel a trip at the last minute due to some sort of illness, and so therefore that's their rationale. I don't agree with it. I'm just telling you that it's what they do. So all you need to do is make sure you say, oh, you know, in, I don't know, 1998, I was diagnosed with mild depression. Now, 99% of the time, this will not add anything to your policy cost. But what it means is that if you do have to cancel for any reason, they can't come back and say, oh, you didn't tell us that. Now we've got access to all your medical records. We can see that. And if we'd known that, we never would have covered you, which might well be untrue. But in any case, just declare it at the beginning and get it out of the way. The third reason that you might not realize that they could decide not to pay out is, let's say you took out a policy in January. You booked your trip, you took out a policy. It doesn't matter if it's single trip or annual cover, whatever it is, and your trip isn't until June. Sometime between January and June, you were diagnosed with some sort of illness. Typically, this would be your more serious illnesses, but it could be anything like pneumonia, coronavirus, cancer, anything moderate to serious that happens to you, or it could even be something as simple as high blood pressure. If that happens, before you go on the trip, you need to let your travel insurer know. Now, they would pay for any cancellation claim, but what you have to allow them to do is to decide if they still want to cover you for going on the trip. Because in most cases, the majority of travel claims, the most expensive ones, are for medical claims that happen abroad. So the travel insurer might decide, oh, this person actually has an illness that means that if they go abroad, it's more likely that they're going to make a very expensive claim, so we would rather just pay for them to cancel their trip. Now, most of the time that won't happen. Most of the time they'll say, that's fine, you can still go on the trip, no problem. Every now and then, they might say, you can still go on the trip if you pay a small bit extra because we're taking on an additional risk, or you can cancel the trip and we'll pay for the cost of canceling the trip. But in either case, you have to let them know because, again, If in January you took out your policy, in March you suddenly are diagnosed with high blood pressure, and then in June you go on a trip and you have a stroke, they can go, oh, but you didn't tell us that in March you were diagnosed with high blood pressure, so now we're not going to pay any of your medical expenses. So those are just 3 of the sneaky but completely legit ways that travel insurers get out of paying your claim. If you want more ways that travel insurers get out of paying your claims, and this is all just to try to help you to make sure you're not falling foul of any of those little T's and C's that they like to hide in the policy terms and conditions that nobody reads. That's Fletch, by the way. That's my cat, one of the 2. Anyway, check out my article. I've just put one up at jetsetjourneys.com. It's called Secrets from the Travel Insurance Industry, because I interviewed quite a few people, most of them off the record, because they didn't really want anybody to know they were telling me these secrets. So check it out for more tips. And if you have any comments on any more insight into reasons you've been denied your claim, put it in the comments below. If you thought this video was useful, please share it. And thank you very much.